Ridiculously big and powerful cruiser engines are coming thick and fast at the moment. Indian launched their most powerful motor to date in the form of their Power Plus liquid-cooled 60-degree V-twin capable of 122 horsepower and 128 pound-feet of torque. Triumph's 2.5-litre Rocket 3 is now in dealers and both the largest capacity production motorcycle currently available and the most torque with an unreal 221 Nm at peak or 163 pound-feet. And BMW are moving into the market too with their 1.8-litre R18 flat boxer twin currently under development and with a cruiser built around it expected any time now. And just this week, Harley joined in the fun announcing a new Stage 4 crate engine of a whopping 131 cubic inch capacity or 2,147cc for those of you that work in metric. It's based on their Milwaukee 8 design and it's the largest displacement they've ever offered and the most power they've ever produced. Currently, the Milwaukee 8 is available in either 107 cubic inches or 114, so the 131 is almost 15% bigger than anything else they offer, which is quite a significant increase. But for those of you not familiar, what's a crate engine? It's a bolt-in replacement that arrives fully assembled in a crate, hence the name, and in this case you just have your dealer swap it out for your existing motor. What then happens to your perfectly good 114 cubic inch V-twin? I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps it can be reused somehow, otherwise it will make a nice ornament. The new 131 fits any 114 cubic inch bike in the current touring range in both its oil-cooled and twin-cooled variants, apart from the trikes. Prospective owners will have to dig out $6,195 for the oil-cooled version and $6,395 for the twin-cooled. So it's not a cheap upgrade, but for the price you get 131 pound-feet of torque and 121 horsepower when paired with the Screaming Eagle Street Cannon exhaust. That's way up on the 114 motor, which currently does about 89 horsepower and 120 pound-feet. This dyno comparison of the 114 and the 131 published by Harley shows slightly lower figures for the 114, possibly because it uses corrected rear wheel figures, but even so there's way more power and torque on the 131 across the entire rev range, and it also revs out a bit higher, with peak power occurring around 5,500 revs rather than the 5,000 of the 114. Compared to the Rocket 3, it's not quite there. That bike does a claimed 165 horsepower and 163 pound-feet, although of course it's 400 cc's bigger. Indian's Power Plus, on the other hand, is really similar to this crate engine with 122 horsepower and 128 pound-feet, despite its lower capacity, probably owing to the fact that it uses a more modern design with liquid cooling and overhead cams. So it's not quite a Rocket 3, but those are some pretty competitive engine figures compared with the standard 107 and 114 and the Indian Power Plus, so here's how they did it. The 4.5-inch stroke has remained the same as the 114, but the bore increased to 4.31 inches. The cylinder heads are CNC ported and have 1mm larger diameter valves, which Harley claimed to optimize air and fuel flow and velocity, and feature fully machined combustion chambers shaped to optimize combustion efficiency. There's also a high-lift camshaft, upgraded cam bearing, and increased compression ratio of 10.7 to 1 as opposed to 10.5 to 1 owing to some upgraded forged pistons. The 131 also gets a 64mm throttle body and intake manifold and high-flow fuel injectors at 5.5 grams per second. I guess you could do some of this with aftermarket parts that are already available, but Harley say that the Screaming Eagle 131 engine is eligible for customer coverage under the motorcycle's factory 24-month vehicle limited warranty when dealer installed by an authorized HD dealer within 60 days of vehicle purchase. So if you've got $6,000 and you want to push your Harley to the next level without voiding your warranty, then it's definitely an option. Unless you live in California, that is, as Harley specifically state that the Screaming Eagle 131 performance crate engine complies with noise and emission standards in all US states other than California. A bit of Googling to research this engine also revealed a big bore kit to take the 114 motor up to the same 131 cubic inches, but at almost half the price of $3,495. I'm not sure if this would have a higher installation cost than a crate engine, but certainly worth a look if you're considering a stage 4. So that's the 131 crate engine in a nutshell. I'm not sure I'll ever get a chance to ride one because it seems like a long shot that a dealer would ever put these in a demo bike, but you never know. I'd certainly love to give it a try. What do you guys make of it? Let me know in the comments below. $6,000 seems like a lot on top of an already premium bike, but the customization scene amongst Harley owners is prolific, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are plenty sold as owners look to stand apart from the crowd. It's certainly interesting to see Harley investing in electric vehicles so much at the moment, yet at the same time still rolling out their biggest ever petrol motor. Perhaps they know what their core customer base still really wants. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new here and you want to see more of the latest motorcycling news right here on YouTube, then hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.